Hi there guys, it's Alex from Pokerstars.net. I didn't play on Pokerstars for a few years since I was not in Asia, so let's try to have one NL50 Zoom session. We are on two tables. We have a lot of stats on our opponents, but they probably don't have a lot of stats on us. So most stats I have are from my students playing the same limit. So with 9-6, it's very loose open, but we're opening because this guy is hugely overfolding on a big blind. Same thing on the left table, so we're gonna go open any two cards against super nits in the blinds. And on this board we can just range bet 1/3. Here a second pair we can just check and take it from there. When he calls on the left table we have to check, but now we have some showdown, so we don't have to bluff the river. So we're gonna check and hope to win on the showdown. On the right table we can go for one very small bet on the river. So this is a block bet. If he raises, we're gonna fold every time. And he had a king, so I think we lost the minimum there. I'm gonna use 2.2 opening size on the button, and I'm gonna use 2x from all the other positions. That's something close to GTO. So from GTO perspective, we should open the 2.5 from the button. But I think 2.2 is a little better option, but it's very similar. I'm marking all the players while I'm playing, so all regs are getting the yellow tag, all the nits are getting orange tag, fish we're gonna be the green tag. So we're gonna play around half an hour session. Let's see how it goes. With Jack-6 suited, we're gonna defend if there is no free bet, but against the free bet we have to fold. Let's see, with King-3 we cannot open against the reg on a big blind. He's not overfolding, so stats we are looking in these spots is big blind full to steal. If the big blind full to steal is over 62%, we're gonna open any two. If not, we're just gonna play pretty much GTO opening range, around 42% open from the small blind. And with King-6 suited, we can free bet here in position. This guy looks fishy, but we don't have any stats on him. We have only one hand on him played. And with our deuces, we're gonna range bet this board, of course. With a King-6, we can go both ways. We can bet 1/3 or we can check. This looks very weird, so I think we have to call this. So I guess he can have a lot of flush draws, he can have a lot of overcards. If he bets big here, I'm gonna fold, but when he checks, I expect to win often on the showdown, and pretty nice, pretty good outcome. So most players here are very tight regs or nits. Usually a pretty tough game. The biggest exploit we're gonna use against the regs in this game, we're just gonna hugely overfold to them in many spots, because we will not expect them to be overly aggressive. And the other exploit we're gonna use all the time is we're gonna open looser when they're overfolding pre-flop. Here with 10-8 we have to fold, or if somebody else calls, we're gonna call also. And now we have easy call. Terrible board for us, so not much we can do. With ace-9 we can squeeze. It's a little looser, but I expect them to fold much more than they should. And we have a fish calling, so he can have pretty much anything. So I think we have enough equity here to bet. And now we just have to go all in. He has only half pot left. Even if he calls, we're gonna have a lot of showdown. I mean, a lot of equity, but this is actually pretty bad hand that he can have. So I'm gonna cash out here, since I'm never winning on a showdown. I have to spike a 7. On a big blind against small blind, we're gonna use 10 big blinds free bet. And when he snaps 4-bets, we are shoving here with 10s every time. If he folds, it's always good. We can cash out here, or we can resume hand. They're both pretty much the same EV. Yeah, this time we would win in a showdown. Raise king. I'm exploitatively using 2.5 opening raise, even though I'm using with the weaker hands 2x opening raise. They have no idea what are my sizings, and when we have free bet and a call, we have to 4-bet here every time. We are never only calling. And this guy's gonna mark as a fish since he called the free bet. He also has some pretty tight stats, so not like a real fish, more like a semi-fish. And with the queen 10 we cannot defend. We would defend with the queen 10 suited, but with the queen 10 off we have to fold. Against the guy who is hugely overfolding, we're gonna open any two. These are one of the exploits we're using. This is totally not GTO play. With the queens against guy who looks fishy, we're gonna free bet here every time. On the king 7-4 board, we can always range bet 1/3. And we're gonna continue on deuce. We're gonna continue on 6. And here on this, I think I will overbet here since he still has a lot of middling pairs that he will probably fold. With the queens, we can go for a small value bet. He's still gonna call us with pretty much any pair. He's just gonna put us on ace queen or ace jack and call us, but he didn't have any pair. He probably had ace jack or ace queen himself. The only reason I'm not opening 2x from the button but actually using 2.2 is not to force players to call us very wide from the big blind. When they see a bigger opening than 2x, even if it's only like 2.2, they're just gonna fold much more. But when they see 2x, they're kind of obligated to call very wide, as they should. With the queen 9 here, our standard play is just to call. We can also free bet sometimes, but this time we're gonna call. I would bet on any card it's not ace or a king on a turn, but when a king comes on a turn, we now have to play as a check call. If it's not some huge bet, if you're gonna overbet this turn, I'm gonna fold, but against normal bet I'm calling. And here he doesn't have a king, so maybe he has a jack or 8, so maybe he can call one small bet, or maybe he can bluff raises. That's one of the reasons we are betting so small on this river. Every time I'm suspecting opponent doesn't have much, I'm gonna use very small bets or check to induce a bluff. So this guy is a confirmed reg, so we have 2k hands on him. We have a super nit on the right table playing 14-12, so against him we are always opening any two. Same guy on the left table, any two. Nice. This guy is a confirmed net. At a7 we can free bet sometimes, but we're usually folding here. If our opponent is usually overfolding, then we're gonna free bet. With a king 8, we can call, we can free bet. Every time I have an opportunity to free bet, I will. If I have opportunity to take more aggressive approach and to take control of the hand with initiative. So we have some weak player probably calling on the button. Here when we are multi-way, we cannot bet here. But we have many good turn cards. Let's see what will happen on the turn. If the button checks. And he does, great. Pretty good card for us. So here we're gonna bet the turn probably a little bigger since we are against free opponents. And we can also bluff some rivers. If we don't hit, of course. And if we hit, nice. So this guy never has a 9. This guy maybe has an 8, but he can have a lot of jack 10 that he can maybe bluff, and if you check, and he does not. Okay. Here against two opponents we are betting and folding against the raise on this board every time. I hope they will not raise, they will just call. Here with the queens easily called for betting, and actually this guy raises. This guy is a very tight guy, so we have to fold our ace queen. From a theory perspective, we should call here, but we should never call here. So this guy is some semi-fish guy, we are just marking him so we know who we're playing against. I could also use Exploitative 2.5 open with the ace king, but it's fine also using 2x. We're gonna get a little more free bet so we can 4-bet. With nines we don't need to free bet here, we can only call. Oh, but when we have also a caller, then we have to squeeze. We don't want to play against two players with our nines. If the original raiser 4 bets, we will have to fold, but if he folds, it's a pretty good outcome. Let's see what happens. On this board, we are range checking every time, and this is a great board for us. When he checks back on the left table, we are delayed c-betting here with any two cards. Population is hugely overfolding to delayed c-bets, so we don't care about our equity here. We're gonna delayed c-bet with any two cards. And this guy is never bluffing. This guy always has tens or jacks. The weakest hand he can have is like ace queen of diamonds, so with our nines we have to fold, unfortunately. Maybe he's even slow playing aces or kings, who knows. Guys in these games can play some very weird strategies, slow playing much more than they should. But in a multi-way pot, he's just never bluffing. With eights, this guy looks very tight, so you can just fold here. If I was on the button, I would call, because I was expecting to re-steal much more. But when I'm on the cutoff and he's on the small blind, his range is much tighter and the guy looks very tight. So even though from theory perspective 8 is a call there, I think we are fine just overfolding in many spots in this player pool. With ace king, a standard squeeze. And on this board we can check or we can bet bigger. So we have to bet, if we bet, we have to bet around half of the pot. and continue on any overcard. But since it's like the worst card in the deck, even though he can still have a King Jack suited, he can have a Queen Jack suited, we still have to fold here. If he bets the river, we just cannot call with our ace high. And he has a lot of value hands there also. So Queen 8, I would defend against 2.5, but against 3x I'm not defending. This guy is limping, so he's confirmed fish. Actually, this blue tag for me is a 7 fish, so guys who are playing a little tighter, but they're terribly bad. Guys who are playing over 40 VPAP gonna mark it as a green one, so as a confirmed fish. But guys who are playing like 30, 10 or something like that, they're gonna be marked as a green, as a blue. Jack 4 was a little too weak here to defend, so I would defend from Jack 6 suited or Jack 7 suited, depends on my opponent. But defending big blind a little less in this game, since the whole player pool is much tighter, is pretty much a good strategy. My big blind fold to steal in a normal game should be around 50. But here is probably around 55. And we can see many players here with a big blind fold to steal of 65 or 70. Against them we are just stealing a lot. And against small bet we have to raise here every time. And we're gonna bet here big with our 7s because we are both deep. So we are trying to get the max value here. With the 10-8 suited I called only because it was a very small free bet. So only up to 6 big blinds against 8 big blinds free bet I would fold here with 10-8 suited. You can still see many players with this 3x mentality. Who don't care like how big is our opening size, who would always use 3x. And this is obviously a great spot. We have to shove here with our 7s. If he has 2 queens or two jacks, he will just take the pot. Nothing we can do there, but he can still have a lot of hands we are beating. I don't understand his play at all, but okay. It's good to win the pot. Here with a7 I'm not delayed c-betting because I still have some showdown. And now when we hit our raise, I'm not sure what this means. This main click, what is this? And okay, of course we are calling with our ace. We are expecting to catch many bluffs. Against a small bet we can raise with our ace queen, or we can call. They're both fine. If it was like 1/3 pot bet, I would raise for sure. But against half of the pot, raising or calling are both fine. Of course, we are calling with our top pair, top kicker, and he has a missed flush draw, very nice. So he min clicked from the big blind with a king jack suited. Maybe he just min clicked. I'm not sure. Yeah, but anyway, he's not confirmed fish, so we have to mark the guy. With our 2 pairs, we're gonna start betting big straight away. Even though on this board we should be range betting, but we're exploitatively betting bigger because you see the guys calling. Now we're gonna overbet here. Expect to get a lot of calls from ace, from a pair plus draw, and now actually he can have a lot of 2 pairs. So I'm just gonna shove here and expect him to never fold hand like ace deuce or ace free. Actually I didn't shove, I bet 150% of the pot. Shove would be maybe a little too big, but I think shove should also be fine. If I don't expect him to fold 2 pairs. Since he didn't call until now, he probably do not have 2 pairs. He probably have hand like ace jack or ace 10 and he's contemplating a call. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna throw something at him. Maybe I'm gonna tilt him. Okay, guess not. And great, we have a free bet with our aces. We are 4-betting here every time. Let's see, maybe he has also some premium holding he gonna stack off with. Nice, very nice. Okay, let's hold. Oh, not a great board. Not a great board. Okay, nice. Okay, we were pretty lucky here because if we had 2 kings and he would have 2 aces, we will also stack off. We are never folding with the 2 kings pre-flop. But I'll take it. Okay, the guys with a big blind fold to steal of 64. So we're gonna open A2. On this board we can check raise or we can bet small. Since this guy is folding a lot to a c-bet, that's the reason we are betting small here, because he will just fold all his over pairs probably to a c-bet. So any guy with a c-bet over 50%, we can just like bet every time. We don't care about the board, we don't care about the theory. If he's over folding, we are over betting and we are over c-betting, and that's it. When he raised, he probably has something, so you have to fold. With 7s we can call or we can free bet. So here I'm calling because I want to lure the big blind also in. He looks like a nit. Nits are actually like the disguised fish. So they're playing terribly, but they're just playing very tight pre-flop. So nits are usually the ones who are making a lot of mistakes post-flop. So that's the reason if I can play multi-way with a nit, I would do it. And let's see on this board that we cannot bet. It's a terrible board. You're still winning against 2 6s, 2 5s, 2 4s, but we're not winning very often. Yeah, this guy has 10, so nice. Good for him. With ace 8 I would complete here, but if there is an open I would just fold, because now UTG can also limp raise. It's not uncommon to see limp raises in these games. With a king 10 against the reg, we have to defend. We're expecting him to raise some normal frequency around 27%. Against such a small bet on this board, we can raise or we can call. Obviously the best card in the deck for us, not actually the best because there is a hearts coming in, but one of the best ones. Okay, so now we don't like this river, but we're still gonna bet to get the value from ace highs and maybe from some pairs that are not full houses. And he folds. Okay. Standard re-steal with ace jack. I'm using usually smaller sizing. You can see many players using 11 big blinds, 12 big blinds, some even using 13 big blinds. I think that's not a great play, even though from theory perspective betting re-stealing a little larger is fine. But we're accomplishing the same thing with the 10 big blinds. Because if he 4-bets here, we are not calling with ace jack, we are not shoving with ace jack, we just want to fold our jack. And that's it. So this guy is confirmed net. Playing 18-11, so ridiculous stats. Here we can bet a little bigger because it's a draw heavy board. And here I'm isolating a little wider. Terrible card on turn. King 10 comes there, 2 9s come there, flush comes there, so we're still probably calling one bet, especially on the safe river. Now we can turn our hand into bluff, or we can check. I think checking is maybe a little better option here, since we're still gonna win against his check backs a lot. He can still check back here with a king queen without the king of diamonds, or jack 10 suited. But now I think we have to fold. He just have a lot of diamonds. He can even have hand like 2 10s with a 10 diamonds. So we have to fold here. And there are not many hands he's turning into bluff. There are many hands he's just checking back also. That's the reason I'm folding there. And this is a net. Yeah, we have to fold here without ace king. So we're gonna play around 4 or 5 more minutes and call it a session. With the ace 6, I would defend against the reg, but against the net I would not. With the deuces we can open or we can fold from this position. So EV is around 0 for opening. So I'm gonna open 2 deuces if I think I have a edge on the players on the table. If I don't think I have an edge, I would just fold. And if you get the free bet, we have to fold our deuces, of course. This guy is confirmed reg. In the multi-way, we're never bluffing in the multi-way. We can be semi-bluffing, but not totally bluffing with total air. So we are just checking our ace 9. Now when they check 2 times, we can sometimes bluff on this river, but I think we still have some showdown, so that's the reason I'm checking here. And we're gonna lose against 3, okay. This guy's looks pretty bad, so that's the reason we are exploitatively betting here. So because on this board you should be range checking. So this guy is not over folding, so we are not opening very wide from our small blind. We're gonna play pretty much GT open against him when he's folding around 60%, but everything more than that, everything more than like 62%, big blind fold to steal. We just have to get crazy from the small blind opening any 2 cards. So here with the king 9, I would call against the reg opening 2.5, but against the nit opening 3x, we have no reason to call. And since he's using a smaller sizing, I'm also using a smaller re-steal sizing. Here with the king 9, call is fine, free bet is fine. If I think he's over folding like he is, then I'm gonna free bet every time. I would not use any randomizers, I would not use any stuff like that. I would just play according to his stats. If I have no stats, I would play according to the population tendencies in a game I'm playing. And in these games I have actually a lot of stats on many players. I have a lot of hands from many students of mine. So I studied these games quite a bit, even though I didn't play them. So I think pretty much I know pretty much how these guys are playing. this guy's a net here, but he's not folding enough to the steal, so that's the reason we didn't open any two. So we're gonna play maybe 10 more hands and sit out on the next big blind. Let's see if something interesting happens in the end of the session. Okay, we can still get some good hands. We probably have a few more hands to play. Let's see. Okay, nice for the end of the session. Let's see if we get any action with our aces. And unfortunately we don't. Okay, that will be it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the session. I hope you maybe learned something new. If you have any questions, leave the comment and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Cheers.